genre. This week I have seen the new trailer for the Sonic movie, and I gotta say, I was really surprised with how much they decided to change the design. I did not expect the change to be so big, and it's a good thing because it really looks like Sonic now. And yeah, I know some people claim that it has to be a marketing trick, but I've seen the photos of posters being shipped out and already in the cinemas, and there was this deal with, was it Nike or Puma, I'm not sure, and if that was a marketing trick, it would have to be a really stupid and expensive one to actually work in favor for the studio. It would cost them more. It would probably cost them more money to do that than just straight up do the movie the right way. And I guess there must have been a lot of people in the creative team who knew the original design is not gonna work, but I'm pretty sure it was because some higher ups decided the Sonic has to look realistic. He has to look like he's a real creature, but that just doesn't work for a character like Sonic. And I know Jim Carrey expressed his opinion that the fans, the audience should not decide on things about movies, but that's true to some extent. Like, you cannot really decide on the actual plot of the movie. You shouldn't be able to. And if you are editing something like a book, then it's up to the makers of the movie how the characters are gonna look. Usually the books are not that illustrated, but with video games, the visual style is already well established, so going too far from the original is usually not a good idea. So there's that. Now let's take a look at the trailer for the movie. Even though I already seen it, I still have some things that I would like to talk about. So let's start with this. I'm really happy that they chose to start with Green Hill Zone this time, because it shows even to people who did not catch the glimpse of the last few frames of the first trailer, it shows that there is gonna be some part of the movie taking place in Sonic's world. It's not gonna be too much, obviously, but still it shows a great level of detail So let's take a look.
I'm Sonic, a little boy.
Already we can see the difference. His cheeks are much rounder, mouth all bigger. The nose is perfect. It's such a small detail that doesn't really matter that this Sonic doesn't have the uni eye. It's fine the way it is. This white patch of fur kinda emulates that feel enough, in my opinion. Looks good and should be fine for the purpose of being somewhat realistic.
Ball of super energy in an extremely hand.
And now we can see him sliding on the grass, showing the more cartoony but perfect looking limbs, his shoes, the socks, and the gloves. And he just looks so lively. That he doesn't look like diseased animal that's gonna die.
Some package on my planet.
More details from the greenhouse zone. A really nicely detailed cliff and the rope bridge. It's just so cute. I love it. The Sonic theme, good choice for soundtrack. Hopefully it's gonna be in the movie too. It's much better choice than random gangster paradise. This is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. I hope there's gonna be some posters with this shot. I want to have this in high definition on my wall. And a really good choice with putting a Sega logo made out of small scenes from the games. It really hits the nostalgia notes perfect. So with this out of the way, there's not much I could say about the rest of the trailer without going into theories about what the plot's gonna be. So now I'm gonna be speculating on what the movie is gonna be like, what the plot is gonna be like. And if you don't want to hear that, if you want to enjoy the movie blind, with just the trailer and no theories, nothing else, then just click away, go watch other reactions. But if you want to listen, if you want to know what the movie might be like and why I'm excited about the movie now, not just because of the redesign, but actually the rest of the movie, then stay here and let's take a look.
They steal my power, they could conquer the universe. You have to help me. No, I don't.
So at the beginning of the trailer, he explains that there is something after his powers, and he's hiding on Earth. And now he's begging for help. This random Earthling human.
Road trip. Woo-hoo! This can't be happening to me. Oh my God, stop the car right now. What? The world's largest rubber band ball? We gotta
He's
see it.
also
No,
very
this is not
childish, as you
Family
can
Road Trip.
see.
You're right. It was lame. Gift shop was cool though. Go. Here comes the boom. How are you not dead? I have no idea.
So, he just performed his Spanish attack and he's surprised that he survived. So, he's not heroic, he is childish, and he is not used to his powers yet. So, that all tells me that he's probably the youngest version of himself that we, or the younger than we are used to. Which means that together with the fact that he just met Robotnik in this movie, he's not the enemy, at least not the one that he was running away from in the beginning. It might be that it's probably gonna be that Sonic is gonna become the hero he's supposed to be throughout the movie. It's gonna be his origin and origin of how Robotnik got to his sword. It's likely that Robotnik uses that quill that he found and uses it to power some machine or weapon. And this is the part where he is already accepting his role as a hero. So, he's gonna come to Earth to hide, but because of his presence, Robotnik is gonna get some kind of super weapon. Sonic is gonna have to become a hero and save the world. So, even with this trailer showing a little different angle and looking like it might be a different plot, I don't think there is too much changes in the actual script. I just think the first trailer showed the quote about saving the world in a wrong context. I think it's still a similar plot, and that quote is gonna be used, but it's not like Sonic came to Earth to save it. Instead, he came to Earth to hide, but his presence caused Robotnik to make some super weapon. Sonic is gonna have to save the Earth from the problem that he himself caused, and then he's gonna go back to his world, and Robotnik is gonna end up there as well. And that's how the fight between Sonic and Robotnik is gonna continue and begin on the Sonic world the way we know from the games. And to be honest, this kind of plot is really interesting to me. I would love to see the origin story for both of them. Instead of being a random, hey, I'm gonna save the world. And if they actually manage to pull this off and beat the expectations of people, there is a chance that they could actually make this a series of movies. Hopefully, the next movie would then be more or only on Sonic's world, with more characters from Sonic franchise. Unfortunately, with movie releases in my country, there's usually 1 week delay, which I'm not really happy about. But I live near the border, so maybe if the neighboring countries have the movie on the release date, then I'm gonna take a bus and just watch it there, if they have it in English and not dubbed into their language, which might be the case. Hopefully not. And if the movie is good, I'm actually hoping I could then buy more tickets and go see the movie more than once. Obviously not gonna commit to multiple tickets without seeing it, but after first viewing, if I love it, I'm sure I'll watch it more than once. Because just like with the Detective Pikachu, I was there twice for the movie. With Sonic, I might even consider 3 times. And it's probably not gonna have a midnight release, but if it's gonna have, I would love to watch it. I would love to go there then. And one more thing. I would love to make a cosplay. Yeah, I'm really excited about the movie, and I would love to make a cosplay. Obviously not as Sonic. I'm not really the right kind of person to cosplay as Sonic. But do you know which character I have perfect figure to cosplay as? Dr. Robotnik. The game version, not the movie version. I will just shave a little bit, keep these, dye them to orange, shave my head for the first time in my life. Yeah, I would be perfectly fine doing that for a cosplay. And I already have these.